Morning everybody, hope you're doing really well. What a weird place I'm in today. I'm in South London today, I'm in Camberwell, and today we're going to explore something that actually tells a really fascinating story of the past of what Burgess Park formerly was, really. And the clue is, well, it's there, but it's kind of crazy because once you know the story and once you visit this park, the whole layout of this place completely changes. But let's find out more about it. Come on. In today's video, we take a look at a former historic industrial relic that is literally in plain sight. Situated in Camberwell in Burgess Park is a former lime kiln. It was built in 1816 by builders suppliers Edward R. Burt and Sons. Coal and limestone brought along by the canal on Thames barges was burnt in the kiln for 3 days to produce quicklime, which was then reloaded onto barges for distribution. The canal itself was known as the Grand Surrey Canal. Originally constructed in the early 19th century, it was to enable local market gardeners to ship their produce into the heart of London's markets, as well as timber and other produce. It would soon lead to the industrialisation of the area. So back to the lime kiln itself. Well, as time went on, Burt and Sons would continue to be an important building suppliers and would last until their closure in the 1960s. However, the lime kiln itself smouldered out for good in the 1950s. As the canal also would close, the whole area would be taken over and turned into Burgess Park, with the kiln in 2002 being restored as a reminder. As well as a few other gems, the kiln now has been given Grade 2 listed status, and with mention of something else we will explore in the video. I hope with a video like this, its history will never be forgotten. Right everybody, welcome back. This is pretty cool, isn't it? This is a fascinating lime kiln that was situated in the heart of South London in Camberwell, and it's been restored. But what it tells is a story of this wonderful canal which you sort of like heard about in your history lesson. And obviously what's really cool about this, which I didn't realise, was that there's actually like lots of little information plaques here about Burgess Park. Was developed over the second half of the 20th century to give Londoners more open space. Obviously there's still a load of development that is here. And to put this in context to where the canal was, if I did like a finger of doom, pretty much runs along that path there, and you can see that actually, obviously you sort of saw in those old maps how close that would have been, and even a fascinating old photo that was obviously in a history lesson as well. It's just wonderful, really. What a beautiful kiln. Obviously it does say there, look, kilns are built to limestone, quicklime, mortar for built. We know all this. But yeah, isn't that just brilliant? And like I said, they've restored it. Obviously it's still, we're in London, so it's, you know, it's seen sort of plenty of better days, but you know, it's look at that. The fact I can even open it up's a bit worrying. There you go. And then that's crazy, isn't it? So obviously on this channel we've seen plenty of lime kilns, but we've never seen one in the heart of London before, at least South London, isn't it? Remarkable, really. I just like the fact that this kiln still, obviously it's restored like we said before. This is that kilns are burning, lime, use of building works. There's loads of information plaques here. It's kind of like quite overwhelming. Obviously the lime would have been put in the top, and obviously coming from the canal barges themselves. I mean, to think, like I said, you really have to look at You really have to look at the old maps to get a real big understanding of how different this whole landscape's changed. And to think there was a very important canal that came right across here is quite strange. I mean, yeah, like I said, the condition has seen better days, but still important that, you know, this is just a really easy place to check out. Not for me, however. I had to drive all the way from Kent today, and that was a really weird feeling because I went past a lot of familiar old venues that I used to gig at. The Dirty South in Lewisham, which isn't there anymore, and the New Cross Inn, which I'm assuming is still going, but again, it's in the morning today, so hard to tell. But that's remarkable. Like, when I sort of go past, I think, God, how things have changed. And obviously in London now, everything's 20 miles an hour, so there you go. Go at snail's pace. But I love this. Like I said, you've got all these little information plaques on the bottom here, which really give you just that added bit of information if you've never been here before. I loved seeing that old photo that was of the kiln. Probably one of its last phases of its life, really. But the wonderful Grand Surrey Canal. I mean, you know, it's early this morning and it's still busy around here. But to actually, you know, find a relic of industrial history that all of you lot can visit, obviously depends on how you visit this place. So whether you come here and you do like parking, or do like what I did, drive up from Kent, find somewhere to park and then try and visit it, or you take the train, whatever you do really. It is just an incredible relic of history. And it is brilliant. And this obviously isn't the end of our story. We've actually got to go across the park to put things even more in context. But pretty cool, right? Inside. Look at this. Oh wow, that's so cool. So you can see obviously where the chalk line would have been dropped into, and then obviously you see all these little furnaces that would have been here for all the heat that would have blasted into it. Obviously I'm quite cautious that there's a load of glass in the centre, which is why I'm not really going to put my feet, because I'm wearing shorts. I'm very cautious that even when my elbows are resting now, there's a lot of dark glass from beer bottles. But it's pretty cool though. Right, so I'm now standing on part of Burgess Park, which overlooks the kiln. I'm pretty in the light, so I do apologise. But yeah, that was pretty, it was quite fun really, in a strange way. There was so much broken glass, but it was black sort of glass from like beer bottles, and I literally had to pull a bit out of my shoulder. Luckily I didn't cut myself. I know you do worry out there, people of YouTube, but I was like, I ain't crawling in any further at risk of literally cutting my arms to shreds. But again, that's probably why that was open. There's loads of fag ends as well, obviously, you know, prime for people to have a nice little party in the wee hours of the night, God forbid. But yeah, you got to imagine that if we're looking at that end, that's the far end of where the sort of canal stopped, and then what we're looking at here would have been all part of the works. So this was part of the brickworks, lime works here. Obviously that went through many different phases, and then there was a salt works right in the distance as well. Obviously you can see all where the modern builds are and everything else like that. But really where that path is that people are going across, that's pretty much what the Surrey Canal was basically aiming towards. And actually it's in that direction that we need to go, because our story hasn't finished yet. And I really want to take you to something very cool, just to sort of top this wonderful video off. But yeah, I thought it's just nice, isn't it? It's really quirky. You see like a kiln in the middle of like South London, you know, and I like the way they've got the information board bits down on the bottom now. But yeah, it's crazy. You've got to imagine, like I said, this canal would have been right through the park as we see it now. And what I'm standing on, like I said, would have been the remnants of a really industrial sort of South London past. But let's just head out, because I've got to take you to somewhere else just to finish this off as a treat. Come on. Okay, so we're now walking under one of the bridges that would have been part of the canal. And look at this, this gives us an amazing indicator. Look, all these canal barges that are here, they've put up on this little subway bit, which originally would have been part of a bridge going under the crossing. See, it says that the barges of Burgess Park project to remember. So we go Grand Surrey Canal, offshoot, and then that's going to give us a clue as to where we're headed. That's our kiln that we've explored, which is fantastic. But the fact that that's still there is a reminder. Remarkable, isn't it, really, that it just sort of gives us that National Lottery funded. But how cool is this, all these barges? That's so cool. Right, let's keep going. So I said we're in for a treat, and this is so cool. This is like the former, I get really excited about industrial stuff, I don't know why. Even though it's not my chosen subject of history knowledge, as you know. This is the canal bridge that's restored. And basically it tells us that the canal was going directly underneath. And again, it proves the point of what I was saying, which was that what people are running along, walking along, they're actually following the route of the Grand Surrey Canal. And I wonder if they knew that or not. I'm sure most people would know locally. I mean, there's some nice information boards, as you've obviously seen, but I just want to get up there. I just really want to take a look. So come on, let's do it. There are moments that make me smile with pure bliss, and I think today is a beautiful example of that. I'm on the former disused canal bridge for Surrey Canal, and it is simply extraordinary. I've done a great job of the paintwork, and even though there is graffiti, it is still very cool. Somebody down there. Look at this, it's construction. It's remarkable, isn't it? And to think, everybody going underneath it, I wonder how many of them actually know the true extent of how important this was as a piece of industry, more importantly. But the fact this still remains, this is still in fantastic condition, which obviously is a part of restoration, yeah, of course it's going to be. But beautiful, they've kept it. There's little bits of like graffiti-ish stuff on here, but not as much as I would have expected, but which is always in terms of stuff like this, is quite a nice sort of thing to see. You know, obviously It's you've got to have that beautiful red and that black coming out, haven't you? Really, look at that. Even the simplest of things. And then looking directly, if you can see that finger of doom at the Shard, one of our most modern pieces of industry that we have. It's great, isn't it? If you think of it symbolically, the fact that we're walking up this really old industrial piece of history, that as we face, like I said, in front of us, we see probably above the flats, obviously, one of the most modern, iconic pieces of London history that we have. And even though we're south of the river, it just proves that we're not really that far away from anywhere, really, in London. And I always keep saying that, you know. But this is really cool, isn't it? Right. Let's head back down, and then we're pretty much done. Come on. Well, everybody, that was, what a treat. Wasn't that so cool? We got to do those two things in the Grand Surrey Canal. Didn't cost us a penny except for parking. Alright, okay, travel wise, ignore that, but the fact that this is free to explore, I love it, and I love the story that it tells. Obviously in our history lesson we wanted to really to associate more with the kiln and the brief sort of part of the Surrey Canal, but there's plenty of information on boards if you want to know more, if you do visit this. If you are not able to visit this, hopefully this video has provided some sort of information, and more importantly encourages all of you lot, as I always say on this channel, to go out and explore for yourselves. Well, I'll end by saying this: any more words of Phoenix history, because history matters. Take care, thank you very much. Kapow.